Man, I can't believe I didn't see that. Of all the things to forget, it's basic xenolinguistics for crying out loud. I feel like an absolute sub-dwarf. Damn it, now I'm talking like a spacer. Deep breaths, Rowan. Anyway, I completely forgot to download the completed lexicon of my language. VO is still giving me crap for that. I would replay that last transmission. But you guys said that it was clean enough to be understood. This one should translate completely. Okay, enjoy Vexy's medical logs.
Sees VO's flattened ears.
Ugh, pulse reports.
Ears flatten more.
Gah, medical pulses on trying to heal my injuries and understand my biology.
Translation attempt number 12. Translating document from Vipoliga to English. 20%, 45%, 70%, 92%. Translation complete. Release all recorded pulses within document. Yes, no.
Yes.
Releasing.
Medical pulse 2 of the Valpoc designation 453-6743. The current time is the last third of the third deneural quarter, the second of the third moon, the ordered star, 976th cycle, generation 11, era 13. What a cathedral. What a fracking cathedral. I picked the wrong moon to neglect my communions with Kitsume and Kitoshi. I had 4 paws worth of patience on this deneural alone before the Tialoi ship. All those sapients. I could not save any of them.
Soft keening could be heard for nearly a dash before Vexy calmed herself.
There is a light in this dark tunnel. We have finally found what the captain assumes to be an unenthralled example of these apes. What has led to that assumption is the activation of an emergency beacon that is inactive in all the others. Even if the assumption proves true, I doubt this poor ape is going to make it through the night. To say she is gravely injured would be like saying the Pavokai are only mildly annoying. She has multiple muscular tears, severe burns on over 20% of her body, many broken bones, a punctured lung, and lost over a stone wall of blood. That is more than enough to kill a Leopex, and yet she continues to draw breath. Even I know better than to question the whims of kind Kitsume. Now I must find a way to heal the most critical injury. But a punctured lung is often a death sentence. There must be a way to save her without risking further damage or death. Some of the enthralled apes I scanned have signs of outward scarring on their lungs. Perhaps they have found a way. I will look through the confiscated reports the Tialois have of these apes. Maybe they can provide me with a light through this dark tunnel, even if reading them makes me want to roll in snow to the point of losing my fur just to feel clean again. Medical pulse 603 of the Valpoc designation 4532-6743. The current time is the first third of the fourth deneural quarter, the second of the third moon, the ordered star, 976th cycle, generation 11, era 13. I have discovered a way to save this ape. But the procedure they have discovered, it is beyond barbaric. They cut themselves open and sew the injury like we would with synthetic fibers. They also use vacuum tubes to remove any fluids that are where they should not be. They even use them to reinflate the lungs.
Vexy could be heard shuddering at the very thought.
I will use far more civilized methods for this. Otherwise barbaric method. I will use a sun scalpel to slice into her flesh and a tissue regenerator set to her genetic markers to heal any injuries I find. I have no choice but to use tubes to remove fluids and reinflate her lung. But I shall do so as carefully and slowly as I can to mitigate any damage I may cause. May Kitsume light my path and Kitoshi navigate me through the thorns. Medical pulse. Seu4 of the Valpoc designation. 45326743. The current time is the first third of the first diurnal quarter, the third of the third moon, the ordered star, 976th cycle, generation 11 era 13. This ape is far more resilient than her meek appearance suggests. Just cutting into her skin was like trying to cut into ceremometal. I had to use the most powerful sun scalpel I had just to cut into her. I am beginning to see why the Tealois seem so fascinated and fearful of these beings in equal measure. I removed any fluids that should not be there according to their anatomy. She responded well to the tissue regenerator with no signs of rejection. I placed a tube down her throat via her nasal cavity to begin reinflating the lung as slowly as I could. In that time, her scratches have begun to heal, her bruises began to fade, and her blood is showing signs of replenishing itself. Her repair system is nearly twice as efficient as a fully grown Leopex. Just studying her immune system fighting off common diseases alone is like watching an active battlefield. Most of us have 2 to 4 different ways of fighting illness. These apes seem to have an endless number of ways to fight off infection. Cells that engulf the viruses. Cells that kill other cells. Cells that help other cells remember the illness. Cells that kill parasites. Cells that devour bacteria. It is madness how many cells they have in their immune system alone. I discovered this while I was using a bone knitter to repair her bones. It seems that most of their cells are produced in the marrow of their bones, even the ones in their blood. It is very similar to how our bodies produce cells, but these apes seem to constantly have this production on overdrive. It makes me wonder what sort of planet they hail from to necessitate such a powerful immune system and healing factor. Perhaps I will get my answers from this yin ape once she wakes up. Medical Pulse 605 of the Valpoc designation 453-26743. The current time is the first third of the first diurnal quarter, the sixth of the third moon, the ordered star, 976th cycle, generation 11, era 13. Her bones have finally finished solidifying, and the medical fabricator finished making the flesh I need to graft onto her shoulder, abdomen, and left limb. Her skin is not salvageable without a graft. I confess to not knowing much about these apes, but every gentle being I know has flesh that blackens and crumbles when burned beyond saving. This ape is also burning through my supplies of sedatives at an appalling rate. It takes 3 pebvol of my strongest sedative to keep her down. I also have to re-administer every quarter diurnal. This is enough to kill one of us 10 times over, and she burns through them, even though her metabolism is only a quarter of what ours is. I pray I do not run out before I finish healing her. Medical Pulse 606 of the Valpoc designation 453-26743. The current time is the first third of the first diurnal quarter, the 10th of the third moon, the ordered star, 976th cycle, generation 11, era 13. The ape is almost completely healed. The graft is showing no signs of rejection. Her bones are within their normal range, even though their normal range would crush a Leopex into paste. Her lung is close to being fully reinflated. I did not need to use my dermal regenerator on her scratches or bruises. They have all faded and only a few left some scarring. She has healed from these injuries in a few catharals, which would have taken us half a moon. I am not certain to be astonished or terrified. She continues to burn through my sedative supply. I may have to request Captain Vallop to stop at the nearest medical station to replenish my supplies. I certainly hope these apes are willing to share their sedatives because this is beginning to feel like a waste, especially compared to my other patients who only need a small fraction of what the ape needs. Medical Pulse 607 of the Valpoc designation 453-26743. The current time is the first third of the first diurnal quarter, the 12th of the third moon, the ordered star, 976th cycle, generation 11, era 13. Her lung has fully reinflated and the graft has completely merged with her flesh. I have removed the tube from her and she is breathing on her own very well. I ran tests on her flesh and breathing. They are well within tolerances by their standards. Even her blood has fully replenished itself to a sustainable level for her kind. I thank Kitsume for lighting my path and Kitoshi for helping me to navigate it no matter how thorny it got. Now, all that remains is to take her off the sedative and wait for her to awaken.